Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Wednesday, November the 17th, 2021, Wednesday of the 33rd week of the year in ordinary time, but it is also a special day on the Franciscan calendar as well as the Church's calendar. On the Church's calendar, it is the memorial of St. Elizabeth of Hungary, but for the Franciscan calendar, it is a feast of this woman, St. Elizabeth of Hungary, a 13th century princess of Thuringia in central Germany. She was known for her charity, for her care for the poor, even when her husband, the Prince of Thuringia, did not want her to do this and thought it beneath her because she was royalty. Elizabeth went out of her way to kind of help those who were at the margins and who were destitute and who needed care and concern. And so she becomes enamored of the Franciscan movement and becomes a lay Franciscan, so one of the members of the Third Order, and she's the patron of the secular Franciscan, the third order of the Franciscan movement. So she's one of the patrons that we celebrate today. So to remember her at St. Francis, this Franciscan parish. Coming to you from the Memorial Garden, where you can see the gardenia trees are in bloom. They're almost past peak, but they've been in bloom for a while. It's always kind of a nice thing to see in November, flowering bushes here down in North Carolina, which again, another sign of God's goodness and God's grace. It is Elizabeth Hungary, and there are special readings for her in the Franciscan lectionary, but the readings for today are kind of do not connect well with her and her good work. They are rather frightening readings. They are very difficult readings. The first is continuing the story of the Book of Maccabees. The family that is killed because they will not give in to the prescriptions of King Antiochus, the Greek king, who wants the Jews to forget their traditions, forget their faith, forget their connection with God, and to eat pork and other kinds of things. And 7 sons of a mother die in succession because they will not give in to the king's demands. And the mother herself will eventually die. But the youngest son, who the king basically takes a liking to and wants to save, will also not give in to these kinds of demands of the king that would destroy his connection with God, that would destroy his sense of himself and his identity as one of the chosen people. Again, it is a very difficult reading to listen to. It's a very difficult chapter in Israeli history, because it seems as though God has abandoned everybody and is letting them be murdered and slaughtered one after the other. And yet their belief that God will deliver them in the midst of this pain, in the midst of this hurt, is what holds us onto an understanding of who it is that God is for us and what it is that God needs to be for us. A God who rescues us from the most difficult of situations, not in ways that we would expect, but in ways that still bring us life and bring us hope. A God who will not let injustice lay without any kind of consequence, without any kind of satisfaction or resource, but a God who will deliver even to people who seem to be at the bottom depths, who seem to be at wit's end, who seem to have no hope whatsoever. God becomes a hope for them. In the gospel, it's not much better, because you have the story in Luke about the parable about the gold coins being given to servants while a king is away. And a king is away to accept kingship someplace, and the people don't want him, it says first. But then the people who decide to invest the coins and those who don't, and the one who doesn't invest the coins gets punished because he did not create any kind of money or any kind of benefit from the coin that was invested in him. And then the gospel ends by basically having the king say, to his other servants, bring those people who did not want me as their king before me, so that I may slay them. So it is not necessarily, again, another happy reading. It's a very strange gospel because, again, it looks as though God is out to get people, or God is not merciful, that God is not kind, God is not patient, but God is vengeful in many ways. And so why is this parable even told to us? And again, it is the whole sense in which we often want a cuddly, kind of teddy bearish kind of God. And in reality, sometimes it seems as though that is all that God is. But we also have to remember that God is the one who created all things, who sustains everything, and who moves it to its fulfillment. For us to kind of toy with that and to try to turn God into some kind of little, lap cat or lap pet, for us to just, find comfort with, is not the God who is really revealed to us. God needs to be taken seriously because God takes us seriously. If we do not take faith seriously or our relationship with God seriously, then nobody benefits. And perhaps then only harm and destruction can come from that. Ours is a faith that matters. Ours is a witness that matters in this world. And we need to take that seriously. Because if we do not, then the kingdom falters. The reign of God is hampered in its revelation. And we ourselves do not become the witnesses that this world needs us to be. And may the Lord give you his peace.